Hello everyone and welcome back to PhytoPathoVerse. I'm Malini Ray, molecular plant pathologist with a motto to make plant pathology easy. First of all, a very happy Diwali to all of you and I hope you have enjoyed it well. Now, the new ICAR NET exam date has been announced and as we know, it's from 11th to 13th of November 2025. So the clock is ticking and all of us must be wondering what is the book that we should refer as a revision purpose. So what's better way to revise none other than with Plant Pathology at a Glance by Utpal Kumar Bhattacharya, right? It is a true lifesaver, trust me. So now what we will do here is that I have made a study plan for us for 9 days. How it goes? See, we have seen the book, right? The content of the book. It has been divided into few sections. The MCQ part mostly. The history, general plant pathology, mycology, bacteriology and virology. So what we are going to do is that we will do around 100 questions per day. Like in history, we have 100 MCQs, so it can be covered in one day, which we'll be doing it today. And the next, general plant pathology, we have 252 questions, so we can do like 126 questions per day. So twice in 2 days, we will be covering general plant pathology. Similarly, for mycology, bacteriology and virology, all in one, we will be covering this in 9 days. Like today is 21st of October, right? So we will cover everything, means the MCQ portion by 29th of October. After that, we will have almost 2 weeks left in our hand to revise again and the rest of your things. So yeah, we can start with the history section for today. Here is it. So many of you who have started Utpal Kumar Bhattacharya for the first time must be wondering why is it chapter 3 with which I'm starting, not with chapter 1. This is because in chapter 1 we have short answer questions and in chapter 2 we have answer why. Again, short question answers or a little bit longer than that. But here we are focusing on the multiple choice questions as most of the question in ASRB NET comes, sorry, not most of the questions, all the questions from ASRB NET comes as MCQ type, right? Okay, starting with the history section. The founder of mycology was Linnaeus? Nope. Canterbury? No. E.J. Butler? No. It is P.A. Michaeli. Now, the best way to study, I'll suggest, is that not only with the answer, but also know about the other options as well. Who is Canterbury? Canterbury is the father of plant pathology. E.J. Butler, he is the Indian plant pathology. And this is Carolus Linnaeus, right? Who is what? He has developed the binomial nomenclature. Okay. So now the father of mycology was or is P.A. Michaeli. One of the major contribution we can know about P.A. Michaeli is his book Nova Plantarum Genera, right? Coming to question number 2, the first identified bacterial diseases of plant, fire blight of apple, was discovered by whom? It is T.J. Burrell. You can do this revision along with me or you can pause the video and guess the answer or write it down in a copy and then check the answer along with me, right? Okay. Now, apart from this option, what are the other options? Adolf Meyer, he is a virologist, right? E.S. Smith, yes, he is a bacteriologist, but he is the father of plant bacteriology, yes. And M.K. Patel, he is the father of plant bacteriology in India. But who first identified fire blight of apple was T.J. Burrell. Also learn about the causal organism of fire blight of apple, which is what? Erwina amylovora. In history, while studying single question, we can know a lot while studying the rest of the options, which is not correct. Okay, I'll not go on with this with all the 100 questions. I'll just giving an example. Okay, coming to question number 3. In India, green ear disease or sorghum was first identified by whom? It was E.J. Butler. Green ear disease is what actually? It is the downy mildew. Okay, so don't get confused with the word that is used normally, like crazy top of maize, right? That is also downy mildew. Similarly, green ear disease. Coming to question 4, phytoplasma can cause plant diseases was first reported by which scientist? Yes, this is the history section, so we will come across the scientist most of all. So phytoplasma was discovered by Dewey et al. What about the rest? Danier discovered what? Viroid. Yes. Kazanis. The next question is that actually, okay, we will move forward to the next. The satellite virus was first discovered by whom? Kazanis. Right. Question 6. The Ireland famine was due to, okay, Ireland famine, we have also come across with the name called Irish famine, and it was due to which disease? Early or late blight? Or what disease? All are potatoes, right? Even this, potato virus X. Okay. So it was late blight of potato caused by Phytophthora infestans. Coming to question number 7. Who first proved that fungi could cause plant diseases? Okay. So there was some controversy about that. He first proved it was Prevost for sure, but the discussion, it was started by Tillett. Where has it gone? Okay, it was Prevost. I think now we can mark. Yeah. So Tillett was the one who started working on the bunt diseases, but again he was not sure whether it was due to the fungal spore. But then after many years, like around 50 years, Prevost in 1807, he proved that fungi could cause plant diseases. It was the fungal spore, the reason of a plant disease. Question number 8. When Adolf Meyer first studied tobacco mosaic disease, he thought that it was caused by what? Bacteria, not virus, because back then the concept of virus was not there yet. So first, when Adolf Meyer studied TMV or the tobacco mosaic disease, he thought it was a bacteria. Okay. Question 9. Sexuality in rust fungi was first discovered by any guesses? It was Craig or Cargi or okay, whatever you pronounce it. Question 10. Indian Phytopathological Society was established by. IPS is a renowned society in plant pathology. So it was discovered by whom? I have discussed it in one earlier video. It was by B.B. Mundakar. With this question, what else can we know? Is that Indian Phytopathological Society was established by B.B. Mundakar, but when? In 1947 it started and it got established in 1948 at What is the location? It's New Delhi. One more question can come from IPS is that who was the first president of Indian Phytopathological Society? It was Dastur. GF Dastur. Okay. Question 11. The famous book Dictionary of Fungi was written by Ainsworth and Bisbee. Right? This book are normally confused because there are so many books written by so many scientists. So I normally highlight it. So, okay, this is my book. Don't get bothered about the highlights. Coming to question number 12. The first attempt to classify plant viruses was done by whom? It was Johnson. 13. Conjugation of bacteria was first demonstrated by Lederbach. So there are three variations that we can see in case of bacteria. One is conjugation, transformation and transduction, right? So with this we should remember the scientist who demonstrated it and on which pathogen or which bacteria specifically. Okay, so for conjugation it's Lederbach and Tatum. For transformation it's Griffith, and for transduction it's Zinder and Lederbach. Okay. Okay, so question number 14. Now only we have discussed the transduction of bacteria was first demonstrated by Zinder and Lederbach. Okay. Moving forward, question number 15. B.B. Mundakar wrote the book entitled, okay, question number 15 and question number 16. We have similar question. Why similar? Because just look at the options. One option is fungi and diseases in plants. The other is fungi and plant diseases. So for B.B. Mundakar, he wrote fungi and plant diseases. Whereas fungi and diseases in plants was written by E.J. Butler. So these two books are normally confused to choose. So I'll suggest just remember one. Like if you want to remember fungi and diseases in plants is written by E.J. Butler. That's it. Just remember one and the other will be automatically the opposite, right? Or if you have already studied it, then that's fine. I'm just saying it for the new ones who is studying right now. Okay, question 17. Who first used lens to study microscope? Which type of lens was first used? It was simple lens, right? And it was used by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Okay. Question 18. The first plant parasitic nematode discovered was Anguina tritici. By whom? By Needham. Okay. Question 19. The first popular classical fungicide was, it was Bordeaux mixture, if I'm not wrong. Question 20. Obviously, I'm not wrong, okay? This I know. Bordeaux mixture was the first popular classical fungicide, okay? Question 20. Crystallization of virus was first done by, okay, so for virus, this 4 scientists has major played a major role in the virology or the viral history. So the crystallization was done by Stanley, whereas the father of virology is Bejernik, and the mosaic pattern was given by or recognized by Adolf Meyer. The filtration or the filter, the virus can be filtered out in the bacterial filter chamber. It was given by Ivanovsky, right? So all of them have their different role or contribution. The term virus was given by, again, Bejanik. Okay, coming to question number 21. The first antibiotic was penicillin. Yes, we also know the year. It's not difficult. It's 1928, if I'm not wrong. Just check it. Okay. Okay. Question number 22. Antibiotic was first discovered by Alexander Fleming. And the year that we just guessed, let's see, 23. The first antibiotic, penicillin, was discovered in, yes, it's 1928. Okay, next, 24. The book entitled Plant Diseases was written by R.S. Singh. We still have this book and we still study. This is a very important book for plant diseases. Question 25. Life cycle of wheat rust in India was first described by K.C. Mehta, and because of which he is also known as the father of Indian stem rust. Right? Question 26. Indian Phytopathology is published from, it's New Delhi. We have discussed today itself. Question 27. Journal of Mycology and Plant Pathology is published from RCA Udaipur. Okay. Coming to question number 28. The first plant parasitic nematode was reported by, which was the first plant parasitic nematode? It was what? Anguina tritici. We have just studied before some time, and reported by Needham. It was also been discussed. See, by looking at one question, we can, revise many relatable questions. This is how revision should be done before exam. Question 29. Gelatin plate technique was discovered by Robert Koch. Question 30. Bordeaux mixture was discovered by, this is very easy to know who have been preparing for NET. Obviously, it's PMA Millardet. Question 31. Oxenic culture of rust fungi was first reported by Cutter. But oxenic culture of Puccinia graminis tritici was first reported by Williams. Okay, so it's same, oxenic culture, but specifically in Puccinia graminis tritici, it was done by Williams. But for the first time, oxenic culture of rust was reported by Cutter and its group et al. Okay. Question 33. Chemotherapy of plant disease control was initiated by the work of Diamond and Horsfall. Okay. Coming to question 34. In ancient Rome, an annual festival was held for blessing of the rust god named Robigus. What is the festival name? Robigalia. When it is celebrated? 25th of April. Okay. Okay. Question 35. The famous book Introductory Mycology was written by Alexopoulos. Yes. Coming to 36. The first fungus known to man is Amanita phalloides, and this is also the fungus who killed Claudius Caesar. We have heard of this story of Caesar killed by his wife. Okay, coming to question 37. Pioneer in the field of systematic mycology was Sakato. 38. The famous massive 25-volume work of Phylogeny Fungorum was done by, again, Saccardo. 39. Anton de Berry initiated the physiological plant pathology with the fungus Botrytis cinerea. Okay, coming to question 40. The third kingdom protista was proposed in 1866 by Haeckel, whereas the fifth kingdom classification was proposed in 1969 by R.H. Whitaker. Question 42. The Roman Emperor Claudius Caesar was murdered by his wife in 54 AD by mixing his food with the decoction of the fungus known as, it has to be a poisonous fungus, mushroom, and the name is Amanita phalloides. This was the first fungus known to man, a person in general. Okay. Question 43. Germ theory was given by Louis Pasteur. 44. Heterocism in rust was first reported by, it was Anton de Berry. And heterocism means having more than one host to complete its life cycle. For example, one such example is our wheat rust. Moving forward, 45. The scientist who introduced the term viroid, and that will be Theo Dinier. Okay. Question 46. That was 45. This is 46. Okay. W.M. Stanley first time crystallized tobacco mosaic virus in the year 1935. The year and all we have to mug up. There's no way out. Question 47. The scientist who wrote the first book on plant pathology in 1858, and that will be Julius Kuhn. And in this case, we have to know what was the name of the first book, and it was The Diseases of Cultivated Crops, Their Causes and Their Control, written by Julius Kuhn. Question 48. The first imperial mycologist in India was E.J. Butler. 49. The Great Irish Famine was during the year 1845. The Great Irish Famine was done in the year 1845 to 46. Okay. The annual review of phytopathology was first published in 1963. 51. The Great Bengal Famine was during is fine. Just remember the year of Great Irish Famine 1845 and the Great Bengal Famine 1943. So this will be the duration. In India, okay, now here onwards we will see few of the questions from the chemical part, right? Okay, question 52. In India, remember this, in India they are saying, because overall the scientist, the recognition, the discovery was by another scientist, but here they have asked specifically in India. So in India, Bordeaux mixture was first time used against leaf spot of groundnut in 1904 by Lawrence. Whereas, again in India, copper sulfate was first used for control of sorghum smut in 1885 by Ozen. 54. In India, for the first time, organomercurials fungicide was used for the control of sorghum smut through seed treatment in 1925 by Hilson. Question 55. In India, for the first time, a mercurial compound, mercury chloride, was used for steeping seed potato to prevent rhizoctonia attack in 1914 by Burns. Okay, now there is one way that you can learn it by heart, or you can make chart of it, like for different chemical. The scientists who have discovered it for the first time in world and in India. So if you say, I can make a list of that and share it in shorts, maybe short video. I'll try. Let me see what I can do with this chemical portion. Okay, coming to question number 56. The fungitoxic activity of dithiocarbamates was first reported by Tisdale and Williams. Okay, continuation of the chemical parts. Question 57. Sulfur was used for the first time against peach mildew by whom? It is Robertson. 58. Burgundy mixture was introduced in 1887. This burgundy, chestnut, chobatia, all these are copper compounds, right? So burgundy mixture was introduced by Mason in 1887, and chestnut compound was introduced by Bewley in 1921. Chobatia pest was first developed from the state. Okay, they have asked the state. Now it will be Uttar Pradesh. Okay. The scientist for the chobatia paste, if I'm not wrong, it's something Singh. The surname is Singh. Just try and search it. The scientist to discover chobatia paste. Okay. Question 61. Mercury chloride used for the first time in 1910. Now see. Now here they have not asked about India. So in the last part here, they have asked about all the chemicals, who discovered it in India. But here they are asking overall, not in India. For the first time, mercury chloride was used in 1910 by which scientist? It is Hiltner. Okay. And the first organic mercurial fungicide was suggested in 1913, and it will be Weisenberg. 63. The first organic mercurial fungicide developed in 1915. It is Uspulum. This is a question that comes. See this germicin, this is also a mercurial fungicide, but the first one is Uspulum. Okay. 64. Cactin, the first reported as fungicide in 1952 by A.R. Kittelson. And that is why Cactin is also called Kittelson's killer by the scientist name. Question 65. The usefulness of carbamates as fungicide was first reported in 1931 by W.H. Tisdale. Okay. Question 66. The first federal Plant Quarantine Act was passed in the USA. Okay. It will be 1912. See, there are a few, with this quarantine, three things we should remember. We will get it here, the question, but I'm saying it. It was first done in France in 1660s. I see the options, that's why I'm discussing it right now. And then in USA in 1912. And then we have to remember about India, which is 1914. Okay, so the three dates we have to remember: 1660 in France, 1912 in USA, 1914 in India. So in India that happened, the name was given DIPA. Somewhere we will see the what it's called, full form of DIPA. That will be Destructive Insect and Pest Act, was passed in 1914. Okay. Question 68. The first plant quarantine regulation was promoted in France. See, to suppress and prevent the spread of Burberry plant. So, what discussed for France? What will be the year? It is 1660. So, for France, it's 1660. In USA, it's 1912. In India, it's 1914. Okay. 69. The International Plant Protection Convention was held in, it's 1951. Now see, even if you don't know this answer, you know what happened in 1660? Yes, the Plant Quarantine Act in France. You know what happened in 1912? DIPA Act. 1912, the USA Quarantine Act. 1914, the DIPA Act. So, what is left with us? That is 1951. Hence, the International Plant Protection Convention was held in 1951. Again, I am saying, if you have learned it, that Plant Protection Convention was held in 1951, that is absolutely fine. But if we are about to go for the elimination method in exam, so it's better we know about the rest of the options, so that we can guess it correctly, or at least 50-50%. And in this case, 75% we know this will not be the answer. So this is absolutely 1951. Coming to question 70. The concept of polymorphism was given by, it was Tulane brothers. I have come to the pronunciation of this name recently. Sometime I used to call it Tulasne brother for the spelling, or somewhere Tulsane brother, but recently I have come to know about the pronunciation that we call it Tulane brothers. So the S is silent. Okay. Question 71. Who is known as the reconstructor of mycology? So this is one of the Tulane brother. So who would it be? It is L.I. Tulane. Question 72. Who created the fungal group Fungi imperfecti? It was created by Fuchs. Fungi imperfecti is the Deuteromycotina group, okay, which is no longer available, but it's very important group and we should study it for the exam. Question 73. The parasexual recombination phenomena was discovered in 1952 by Pontecorvo and Roper in the fungus Aspergillus nidulans. So again, there are three terms. One is heterothalism, heterokaryosis, and parasexuality. For the heterothalism, they have worked for the discovery on mucorales, and for the heterokaryosis, they have worked on Botrytis cinerea. For parasexuality, the discovery was done in the fungus Aspergillus nidulans. Coming to question 74. Who suggested that fungi of Deuteromycotina are in a dustbin group? It was C.T. Ingold. Dustbin group it is. Question 75. Antibiotic of Trichoderma viridi named viridin was first isolated by whom? It was brain and mag1. We have to memorize it. There are lots of names. 76. The first report describing the interaction between VA mycorrhiza fungus and a plant pathogenic fungus was documented by Safir. 77. The apical shoot meristem culture was first reported by Morel and Martin. Okay, so whoever is having this book, I'll suggest in answer sheet, I think it might be mentioned ball, but this case the answer will be option A, that is Morel and Martin. And for the cross check, you can Google it or search any authentic source. Okay, the apical shoot meristem culture was first reported by Morel and Martin in 1952. That's the correct answer, not option D. Question 78. Onion red leaf scales contain procatechoic acid and catechol. This was first reported by J.C. Walker. Question 79. The birthplace of plant pathology may be considered to have been, this is German speaking Europe. So from this place the plant pathology has started for the first time. Question 80. The first toxin to be isolated in pure form in the early 1950s. It was tap toxin, right? Okay. Question 81. Who first suggested the use of copper sulfate on wheat seed against stinking smut in 1761? It was Schultes. 82. Vriksha Ayurveda is an ancient Indian book where ancient methods of plant disease control were mentioned in 9th century. Very old. And it was written by Surapala. 83. The first edition of Burgess Manual of Determinative Bacteriology was published in 1923. 84. The title of the journal Physiological Plant Pathology was changed to Physiological and Molecular Plant Pathology in the year 1986. Next, the journal Indian Journal of Mycology and Plant Pathology is presently known as the Journal of Mycology and Plant Pathology since 1997. 86. In India, the first British man to get a disease specimen identified, it was Sleeman. Okay, in 1839. 87. Plant pathology as a university subject in India came into being in, guess it with me, it is 1930. This is even a revision for me, you know. The things, mainly the history portion, there are so many scientists and so many years. Even if you study and learn, you should revise it. We all should revise it once or twice, or else we will forget it all. So revise it with me. Question 88. The first Indian university to take up plant pathology as a university subject, university science subject, it was Pune University. 89. The first Indian university introduced postgraduate program in plant pathology in 1945. Which university? It was Agra University. 90. The first Indian college to introduce postgraduate program in plant pathology, it was Government Agricultural College, Kanpur. Okay, coming to question 91. We have the last 10 questions remaining. So, okay. 91. The first course in plant pathology was offered at Harvard University in 1875 by Farlow. 92. The first demonstration of origin of physiologic races through heterokaryosis was given by Hensen and Smith. Okay. 93. The father of virology is M.W. Beijing. 94. The father of the modern Indian phytopathology is E.J. Butler. 95. The word control evokes the notion of finality, of having controlled or permanently settled a problem. It was suggested by J.L. Apple. 96. The famous book The Advance of Fungi was written by Large. You know, all this Apple, Large, and there were a few, not this is important, there are a few scientists who is not well discussed, but in exam nobody knows what's going to come, so better to be prepared. 97. The father of phytopathology is E.F. Smith. 98. The veterinarian who pointed the resemblance of mycoplasma with MLO to Dr. Dewey. Dr. Dewey. I guess this was, Dewey et al. Wala Dewey. Okay. Who was the veterinarian? He was Dr. Kaoru Koshimizu. Question 99. The father of bacteriology is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Okay. The last but not the least, question number 100. One of the historical important collaboration works between a veterinarian and a plant pathologist, and it was discovery of phytoplasma or MLO. This is the same question as question number 98 and 100. It's similar. Okay, and that's all with the history section. Tomorrow we will be discussing the first half of the general plant pathology, and to be sure, the ones who is not having the book, I am attaching the answers of all the questions that we have discussed right now. So just take a screenshot of it and just revise it separately in your copy, and then cross check with the answer. I will suggest this question number 77, I think this was the mortal and marine one, so it will be option A. But this was my side of discussion. Anybody is having any further knowledge on the question we have just discussed, please feel free to discuss and discuss in the comment section and let others know your point of view. Even I'm happy to hear those, So we will be coming back tomorrow. Stay tuned, and we will be covering the Utpal Kumar Bhattacharya MCQ in 9 days as discussed. Till then, keep learning, keep growing, and all the best for your upcoming ASRB NET plant pathology. Good luck.